I'd like to talk in this video about a movie that I've neglected to discuss for some reason up to this point. And I think that's a glaring omission on my part because I think this movie is quite underrated. The movie is called The Gift, and again a sort of generic title, just like the last one I reviewed, No Escape. So I know there are other features called The Gift, but this is the one I'm talking about. Uh, the one I'm talking about is the movie from 2015, starring Jason Bateman and Joel Edgerton. And it's also written and directed, I believe, by Joel Edgerton. Now, this is a deeply unsettling movie, um, but also very how should I put it? It's something. It's very engaging. I mean, it's a movie that by the time it's over, when the last few minutes of this movie are unfolding before your eyes, your jaw will be hitting the floor. Not literally, but you know what I mean. It's that kind of movie. It has that kind of effect on you. Um, and I don't even know how to describe it. It's I guess kind of a psychological thriller. Um, uh, maybe horror, maybe a kind of maybe psychological horror. I don't know where psychological thriller and psychological horror. I don't know where one ends and the other begins exactly. It's not horror in the sense of there being any monster or any kind of you know killer with a knife who's going around stabbing people wearing a mask or anything like that, um, or any of the other staples of what would be thought of as horror. But it's horror just in the sense of really plumbing the depths of what humans are capable of, while also retaining, um, you know, the appearance of normalcy, and not just normalcy, uh, the facade of competence and charm and all kinds of other things that seem highly desirable in a person. And yet, all of that might just be uh, a thin veil beneath which dwells a person uh, who is capable of doing terrible things. I'd say that I don't want to spoil too much about the plot. Uh, I would say that the three leads, which is Justin Bateman, the character that he plays, and his wife, the character the actress who plays his wife, whose name I'm not recalling right now, and Joel Edgerton, who plays this guy who shows up in their lives, and it turns out that he was somebody who went to Jason Bateman's character's school, and that they knew each other in some way, although it's not clear that they were exactly friends. And as the movie unfolds, we see that uh, it was definitely a fraught relationship. Although I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to give too much away. Um, I would say that out of this trio of leads, all of which are very good, the acting is very good. I think that the soul of the film is Jason Bateman, because he plays a character um, who who we're in some ways forced into identification with, even as we come to see more and more that he is a deeply flawed person, and that's putting it mildly. Um, he is a person who has done some really bad things, and although nothing necessarily illegal, but still things that are deeply uh, um, like I said, unsettling, and cause us to become more and more repelled by him as the movie progresses. Yet at the same time, as I said was saying a couple of minutes ago, we are brought into a strange kind of identification with him until with the terrible twist that the movie takes. It's terrible in a way. Well, it's pretty terrible, just objectively speaking. But it's also, in a way, uh, it also represents a comeuppance. It represents um, Jason Bateman's character receiving a kind of comeuppance that in some way makes me think of Brad Pitt's character in Seven. Um, I mean, that's the only other uh, similar sort of scenario that I can think of where the way that the movie ends, makes us just recoil at what what he has been subjected to, even though he has shown himself to be the villain. Um, like I said, I don't want to give anything away, but when by the time the movie is over, you uh, you're able to sympathize with everybody, and yet also see uh, that when you mess with somebody's mind, um, you when you behave like a monster, you create a monster. And there's a suggestion, just a subtle suggestion, that Jason Bateman's character, was treated similarly during his upbringing, similarly to the manner that he eventually uh, treats others, some others in his life. Um, Not everybody. He's never he's never a particularly. It's complicated because he's never a bad husband. He genuinely loves his wife and wants to be there for her. And rationalizes what he does. In the sense that he wants to be a good family man, a good provider, and eventually a good father. Um, but again, we eventually come to see uh, the deep flaws in his character, particularly as they relate to the character played by Joel Edgerton. So I don't want to say more than that. Often when I'm reviewing a movie here, I hand out, I give away spoilers or semi spoilers, um, you know, I review a movie, and like, I think what I've done before is I've recorded one video where I don't give spoilers, and then another one where I do talk about the spoilers. Maybe I'll do that with this movie too. I don't know. I'll see how I feel about that. See if I think such a move would be warranted. But in any case, highly recommend this movie. If you like good acting and solid direction and suspense um, and you know, just plumbing the depths of what humans are capable of doing, the kind of things that we're capable of being, and the rationalizations and justifications that we come up with. You know, again, it's a real it's quite a twist when the movie gets you to hate a character, and then makes you sympathize with him in the end, after you see everything unravel for him. And again, I don't want to say more than that, but you just really have to see it. You really do have to see The Gift. Um, and I hope you will. And if you have seen it, let me know your thoughts below. Thanks for watching this video.